I think for us, it's so different because we're light skinned. You're not treated as a black woman. You're not treated as a white woman. You sort of fit in between. I mean, if there's any time in my life that it's been more focused on my race, it's only once I started dating my husband. Then I started to understand what it was like to be treated like a black woman, because up until then I had been treated like a mixed woman. And things really shifted.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, if you're listening to this, watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. It's not too early to do it because I appreciate you being here. So obviously you like something about this platform and I really do appreciate it. Now let's get into this conversation, and I'm not going to make this very long. I've had conversations about Meghan Markle before, and I probably will have some more conversations about her again if something comes up that just really triggers me. And this is why I wanted to discuss this. Being beautifully honest. What I mean by that is I know there's a lot of people out there that are really sharing what they believe to be the truth, how they really feel. And they just say, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. And a lot of people can be really nasty and ugly and rude about it. But people have the right to share how they feel, however they want to do it, even if it may not be seen as politically correct. That's what people have the right to do. On my platform, I just don't really go there because, to be honest with you, I just don't really have the energy or the strength to get so down low with it, with how I feel sometimes about somebody that just may really, really anger me or piss me off, because at the end of it all, they're going to be who they're going to be, and how I feel about them is not going to change the situation. So I don't feel that it really makes that much sense for me to put so much strength and energy in an angry way about how I feel about things. So that's why I call this being beautifully honest. It's like, I'm not being fake about it. I'm just really sharing how I feel about certain situations, and I'm not going to get ugly about it and and just get so angry with someone because I'm sharing my thoughts, my views and opinions on how I really feel about someone. But this is what I wanted to say about Meghan Markle, because we all know that she has her new podcast out now, which is #1 on Spotify. It's knocked Joe Rogan out of the top spot for the time being. And the reason I feel that is now is because it's new. People have been waiting to hear it. People either love her or they love to hate her. I'm indifferent. I don't hate her. I definitely am not a fan of hers, but I'm indifferent. And one of the reasons why I'm indifferent towards her, and this is how I feel a lot of people, especially African American women, should feel, is it really did make me feel some sort of way when she did her sit down interview with Oprah, and she was just sharing all of these things about how she was such a victim, and she and her husband Harry felt that they just really need to get out of the royal family. And look, from some things that I've heard about Harry and his previous relationship, the woman that he really did love before he supposedly met Meghan and then fell in love with her and asked her to marry him, his previous girlfriend, she wanted no parts of being a part of the royal family. And she is not a mixed race woman. And he felt that, well, this is my life. This is what I need to do. But he was having thoughts back then about getting out of it. So I'm not saying that Meghan forced him out of the royal family. I felt that it was something that he already had in his mind and in his heart to do. And Meghan, she didn't get the life that she really wanted when she got into this situation with being a part of the royal family, but she got what she wanted. She didn't get all that she wanted in terms of being, treated like a princess, because it was more of a duty and more of a job, even though she got the life and the lifestyle and everyone knowing who she was. And then the ugliness comes with the territory as well, where there are going to be people that didn't like her because of who she is, whether it was her race or they didn't like that she was an American. She wasn't a part of the the way the traditions were in the UK, and also some people didn't like her because of her race. That is just real life. It's real life. I'm not saying it's okay for anyone to be racist, but we all know that there are ugly people in this world that don't like you for things that you can't help. But she's not the first one to be treated that way, or being thought of that way, or spoken of that way, but she won't be the last. And she made herself out to be this huge victim when she had this sit-down interview with Oprah. And that is the part that angered me, because there are just so many real victims in the world. Cry me a river when it comes to people wondering what color your child was going to be when it was born, or the maids or nannies or whatever. Like, girl, whatever. Who cares? Your problems are minuscule in the grand scheme of all of the things that are going on in this world, okay? But now that she's gotten out of the royal family, she's gotten the privilege of now being an A-list celebrity, which she wasn't before she got with Harry, period. It's just the truth. It's not a knock. It's just the God's honest truth. Now she is an A-list celebrity. Before she got with Harry, she never would have been able to say, you know what, I want to have a podcast and I'm going to have these A-list top level celebrities to interview them and bring them onto my platform. No, now she has that access because of who she is attached to, and because of now her being this A-list celebrity at this point. But you heard what she said. And this is exactly why I did not feel that she deserved the sympathy, or people just making her out to be this victim that she really genuinely felt that she was, but she really wasn't. She said it herself, people. She said it herself. This person who has an African American mother, she has an African American mother, and she had the nerve to say that once she started dating her husband, that's when she started to understand what it was like to be treated like a black woman. Because up until then, she had been treated like a mixed woman, and things really shifted. See, that's the thing. And that's why I said she doesn't deserve to be treated with this sympathy or treated like a victim. Meghan did not live her life as an African American woman, even though she technically is. And some people can say, well, she's biracial, she's mixed race, like she calls herself. She's a mixed woman. She doesn't call herself an African American woman, and to be honest with you, she doesn't have to call herself that, because technically she isn't. Her father was Caucasian, and I felt, and I still feel this way, from the things that I saw and discovered about Meghan Markle. The privileges that she did have, even though it wasn't one of an A-list celebrity, I feel that it was more of her father's helping her with her career to even get her into the Hollywood industry. I'm not saying he got her the jobs that she got, but with him working in Hollywood, I do believe that it was something that helped her, because we already know it's not about what you know, it's who you know when it comes to that industry. And Meghan, some people say, yeah, well, you know, she actually looks biracial, she looks mixed race. If you look at older pictures of her when she was young, and she's talked about this as well, where her hair was just so like really, really thick and curly. It was more on the kinkier big curl side. When you look at her now, you wouldn't think that her hair is like that, because she on purpose keeps her hair flat ironed and straightened out to make it look more like the type of hair that's more on the European Caucasian side. She doesn't want to look like a black woman. She does not want to look like an African American woman, period. And, you know, it's her prerogative if she doesn't want to do that. I'm not saying that she should live her life that way, try to look that way, try to look Afrocentric or whatever, even though, you know, her mom has the dreadlocks and all of that stuff, and her mom has darker skin than she does. But she talked about it in this podcast interview with Mariah, talking about them being lighter skinned. She lived her life as a Caucasian woman. She may not have called herself Caucasian. She may have called herself mixed race. But there's even something out there where she talked about not being black and not being white, but being gray. She did not want to be seen as an African American woman. And to be honest with you, a lot of people do not want to be African American or black unless it is going to benefit them in some way. So her having this sit down interview with Oprah talking about being mistreated and being discriminated against, and the tabloids saying negative things about her, racist things and all of this other stuff, you had a lot of privileges that so many African Americans, whether they are male or female, do not get. We can't help the way we are born. We can't help the way we look. We can't help these things. And yes, there are people that hate you because of who you are, not because of anything that you have done. And it is something that is inbred in them, that it is taught, and they grow up and they continue to operate that way. Some people break out of it, but not many do. If that's how they are, a lot of people, that's just how they are. And they may not express it out loud, but they feel that way in their heart. And eventually, whatever is in your heart, the Bible even says it, whatever is in the heart of a man, the mouth will speak it. Some people learn to control it in certain settings, and then some people, they get stupid and ridiculous and they let it out and they blurt out how they really feel about, people and things. Like, there's a coach, I don't follow sports, but I saw him recently. My husband was watching something on ESPN, and this guy who I guess is a big time coach, his emails got leaked and he was busted for making a lot of racist comments and homophobic comments. And he coaches these same type, of people, African American guys, but he's saying racist things about them. I think his name was Coach Bobby Gruden. I could be wrong. Don't shoot me for saying the wrong name, but at any rate, I digress. Meghan Markle, this is exactly why I was saying before, people don't need to be on the bandwagon of feeling sorry for this woman. She knew exactly what, for the most part, she was getting into. She was getting into an opportunity. I'm not saying she doesn't really love her husband. Some people get into these relationships and they don't have real genuine love, but they grow to love the people. And I believe she's grown to really care about her husband. But did she get into this for opportunity? Yeah, she did. And hey, if that's what she wanted, I'm not saying it's wrong to get into something if it's going to level you up and give you greater opportunities. There really isn't anything wrong with that. But my only problem with Meghan Markle is the fact that she tried to make herself out to be a victim. And you, sweetheart, are far from a victim. Far from it. So I don't feel any sympathy for her. And I just feel that the more she speaks, the more she speaks in these podcast episodes, the more she's just going to reveal herself. And you'll just see more and more of what I've been feeling and thinking and somewhat saying in my conversations about Meghan Markle. So you can let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about it. And guys, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.